Oh right, welcome back everyone to the channel. You're watching the Leeds United Football Manager 19 series on my channel that I'm doing. Where you left me in the last episode, we'd actually managed to get a really good victory against Aston Villa, 2-1 in the Championship. Obviously they were first in the table, they still are. Now we'll just go through the results, mixed bag. Played against Blackburn, who for the second time this season have managed to beat us. I don't really know. I feel like the formation we were using just wasn't working against Blackburn, which I established too late, but we move on. In terms of the goal, it was Bennett that scored it. It was quite a close game, but ultimately I think they just had the better of us on the day. If we watch this now, Chapman's there, and it was a bit of a lucky goal, but ultimately they got the win. We can't really do much about that now. We then were at home to Hull, played them on television. We had a couple of good win here. We actually changed formation in this game, so we changed to a 4-2-3-1, and I think it was really helpful because the problem we had before is Clark has been incredible this season, but he's been rotating with Hernandez. So I think what I've now worked out is that Hernandez should be going on in that central attack in midfield role with Clark on the right hand side. So we did rotate. Brown's actually come in. I think we started him in this game just because I wanted to give him a bit of a run out. He's not an amazing player, but he's a good player, quite well rounded in that sort of attacking midfield position. So that's the formation change. This was the first game since we changed it, and it went quite well. And the Hull aren't a great team. They're not doing particularly good in the table, but they are, historically a good team. We've managed to win in our first game of our new system, which is really impressive. Roof here. Very lucky deflection, but Clark has done really well to tuck that into the bottom left corner. Excuse me. Brady here. We've had to rotate a couple of players. We've been playing every 3 days at the moment. And Phillips, as his first goal of the season, he's done excellently there to score that goal from outside the box. Clark here brings it inside. He just keeps running. And he tucks it into the corner again. So Clark has been phenomenal for us, especially in the last sort of 6 weeks in the game. He's popped up with a goal or two here and there. He's popped up with a couple of assists as well. And then we played Nottingham Forest away from home as well. We played them. This was another match where we rotated the team again. So we had a lot. Alioski came back in the team. We actually played Bamford because Roof again's got a bit dried up. Bamford actually managed to score in this game, but we played Hernandez on the middle, and he had a really good game as well. Very close game. We had most of possession, but in terms of chances, again, it was quite close. We conceded our goal right at the end of the game, so we were in control, I'd say, for the majority of it. So if we watch these goals now, Albeck whips out to the left-hand side for Douglas. Douglas whips it in, and Hernandez is there. Douglas with another assist. He's been so influential coming back into the team. So that was really good to see. Clark here on the left-hand side. He tries to fire it across the goal, eventually gets it across to Bamford, who scores it. So it was really good to see him back on the score sheet as well. We have got a bit of the good goal from Graham, really good header. But we have got the slight problem up front, whereas we've got one really good player who's not on form, and two quite good-ish players who are just rotating for that second choice spot. Then we went and played Crystal Palace in the FA Cup third round. We lost, as you can see. Alioski managed to get our goal. This was pretty much what I'd say is my strongest team, or what I feel is my strongest team, other than Ayling didn't play because he actually picked up another injury in the previous game, and Douglas, I rested him for this game because he was a little bit tired. So if we watch them goals, they started really well actually. Jordan Ayew kind of scrambled a ball into the goal, but yeah, they started quite well here. Yeah, it was from 2 yards out. He was never going to miss that. Batshuayi passes it across to Townsend, and you know what Townsend's going to do. Same as what he does in real life. He's just going to hit it from outside the box. Phenomenal strike. So that made it 2-0. We actually bought a goal back in the second half. Phillips puts in a corner. Alioski's there. It's really jammy. There wasn't much kind of technical ability in that, but unfortunately Alioski, who scored the goal, gave away a penalty, and Batshuayi tucks it into the corner on that. So they're the 4 games since we were last here. We now have to play 4th place Derby, who are going to be a really tough opposition. Our assistant manager recommended we play defensively in this game, which is making me feel like I should go back to the previous formation. When we last played Derby, we won 3-1, and that was using the formations. We actually had Albeck, Click and Forshaw in the midfield, but the midfield's been the one I've been rotating the most. I'm kind of tempted to do that again. So we put Albeck back in that deep role, Click as that box-to-box player. If we change that, and then we add Forshaw as the attacking player, I feel like it's probably the best thing we can do given the circumstances. In terms of the rest of the team, we're going to leave Roof up there as an advance forward. Hernandez is going to have to drop to the bench for this game just because we don't really have a position for him, and Clark's been in such good form we can't really take him out. And then we'll bring Douglas back in. Oh yes, just before this game, Casilla picked up an injury. He's going to be out for about 2 weeks. It's a real big shame because we don't really have an amazing goalkeeper. Like I mentioned in the very first episode, or maybe the second, Peacock Farrell is a pretty good goalkeeper. He's alright, he's very tall, he's got good jumping reach, aerial reach, good in one-on-one situations, but he's not amazing. He's not really the sort of goalkeeper you want to be in your starting 11. He's a good backup to have, but so unfortunately that's the case. We have to put Peacock Farrell in, but hopefully there won't be a problem. So I think I'm happy with that team. Anyone on the reserves? I think I'll bring Shackleton over Dallas, because obviously we can play Brown or Roof out on the left hand side. We don't really need them in there as well. And I think we'll start like that. Connolly has almost established himself as my second choice centre back. Unfortunately, because Cooper has been injured the whole time, we haven't been able to play him. So Connolly and Helm, I believe his name is, been rotating for that kind of second choice centre back spot. And Connolly has won. He has been the better choice so far. So we start off into this game. 10 minutes in, we've got a lot more of the ball than them. We kind of expected that. I've changed the tactics just a little bit. Quickly pause there, we've got a highlight. I've gone much shorter and much lower tempo, much narrower. We're still working into the box, but we're no longer passing into space. I want to keep the ball. Like if we don't lose the ball, we can't concede. Is my kind of mentality. So we'll just slow it down again. We'll play now. So Roof's there with a good header. Unfortunately, wasn't quite on target. But the first shot of the game goes to us. Although it is quite late into the game. But here we are, Forshaw on the ball. And yeah, so I picked this team because this is pretty much the team that played and beat Derby earlier in the season. Oh, that was a lovely effort. Unfortunate there. It says that Click's getting skinned all too often. So Click's not having a very good game. Maybe he's the player we bring off in the second half. Oh no, Mason Mount on loan from Chelsea has managed to pick up a goal for Derby County. It's very, very unfortunate. But we move on. In fact, they've actually been the better team for most of this game, so I think we are going to have to change how we play now. We're going to, in the second half, we're going to go with that centre attack in midfield. And let them know we're not very happy. And I think Click's going to be the one to make way. He's not had a good game at all. We'll play Albeck as that deep line playmaker. And I think Hernandez or Brown. Hernandez has got to be the one. He's a phenomenal player. We'll make him an advanced playmaker on support. So Click's come out. He had a poor game. Roos had a poor game, but most strikers do unless they score, unless they're kind of a hold-up play, which he's not. So we'll stick with the tactics. We'll just continue now with the different personnel and moving sort of the position of that central midfielder, the central midfielder, into a more advanced role. Hopefully, with the combination of playing on cautious, we should be able to kind of create more opportunities. At the moment, we've not created anything. They've got another opportunity. I think I've accidentally just praised the team there, but hopefully I'll be justified if we score a goal here. So Hernandez, brilliantly into Roof. You know, Roof's got to score this. Of course he does. I did have a little bit of doubt just based on his form, But in terms of the player's potential and the player's ability, I shouldn't have had any doubt. 18th goal of the season, just after Christmas. Very good from him. Okay, so Alioski again, he's not been amazing since he's come back from injury. On a 6.4 rating in this game, quite disappointing. Really, that's our first shot on target actually to get us that goal. Forshaw's had a good game. I don't really want to take him off. I think we potentially could bring Izzy Brown on. Alioski's played poorly. Yeah, let's put Clark on the left, Brown in the middle, Hernandez on the right. I think we'll have to make Clark an inside forward because he's right-footed. There's no inverted winger in this game for some reason, which I didn't realise until recently. Shackleton. So Shackleton's a good box-to-box, so is Phillips. I think I'm going to bring on Phillips in a box-to-box role. Just in there, just in front of Albeck. We have a corner, an excellent delivery corner kick taker in Douglas, who we've got to make that. I don't know why their striker didn't go for it. Radi's made that. Hernandez picks up the loose ball. Can he do anything with it? He's whipped in a lovely... Is Clark there? Oh, it's so unlucky not to win that. That is very, very unfortunate. But still, even after all this time, we've only had one shot on target, and I think we've managed to nick a win, nick a draw. We have done, probably undeserved based on the kind of the statistics of the game. Our goalkeeper was our best performer, which is always quite worrying. But like I said, Alioski had a really bad game. Mats Albeck makes his 25th appearance for the club, which is lovely to see. He's been not as good recently, but he had a very good start to the season. We're going to say it's unlucky. We don't want to knock their confidence too much. Their confidence isn't massively high as it is. So in terms of where we go from here, we are still in second. We're 3 points behind the league leaders, Aston Villa. Obviously we managed to claw back 3 points against them in the last episode. But yeah, we're now 13 points ahead of Stoke in 6th place, and I think Stoke is who we're playing next. If we go to the schedule now, because we haven't got that many games left in the season. It is Stoke we're playing next. We've got Stoke, Rotherham, Norwich. Norwich are doing terrible. They were predicted to do very well. And then Middlesbrough. I think we'll do the usual 4 games because we'll come back for a really tough Swansea game. We're in 3rd place. If we can beat them, we're looking very much better for an automatic promotion. So that'd be really good to see. If we look at the medical centre, we've in terms of injuries at the moment, we've got quite a few nasty ones here. So we've got Cooper's out for 3 to 6 months still, Aylin's 2 weeks, Casillas 2 weeks, Tyler Roberts with a slight injury. That's not too much of an issue, but that is quite disappointing. A lot of our players are high risk of injury as well, just because of their playing too many matches. But yeah, I'm quite happy with what we've done here. We're doing quite well. I don't think there's anything else left to do here. I think we're quite happy. We'll play 4 games off camera, come back for the Swansea game, and then we'll show you sort of the results, where we are in the table. There hasn't really been any transfers. We have got one ongoing at the moment. I think, in fact, we did bring in. Where has it gone? There is someone who's come in. Oh, here we go. We bought someone called Marco Bulat. He's not going to join us to the summer, which isn't really relevant for us anyway, but he's 17 years old, so it means he will become homegrown at club within a few years. Alright physicals. Very, across-the-board mentals, which is very good for a box-to-box midfielder. If his finishing was a bit higher, he'd be an incredible box-to-box midfielder. So he's been bought in anyway, for no apparent reason, really. We're not going to be here, but it's really good to have him, so he's going to be bringing into the team. So I think that is where we're going to be leaving the episode. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like button, click the like button, and subscribe to the channel. It will be really good to kind of get more exposure on the channel. When I move on to FM20, if I can build up a little bit of a following, just get some people who are interested in the game, who are interested in maybe my commentary. It'll be really good to see if we can get that behind us. So if you can, leave a like, get the exposure out there, it'd be much appreciated, and hopefully I'll see you for the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.